At VB Shredder, you're right. Weight savings, my friend. Zero effects on drivability. Hey, wake up. What's up? Happy 4th of July to everybody. So I know I told you the next thing we were going to do was going to be on the Porsche. And the parts are still sitting right over there on the corner of the toolbox. But I'm actually going to work on the Passat again. So first, I want to address my previous videos. I got a couple of comments on there that were hilarious. I'm going to put the comments here on the screen so you can see what they are. But one was telling me, I said not so often that I have to do the water pump. And they were like, oh, second time in 150,000 miles, that's more than normal. I agree. Let me clarify. The reason I say not so often is because I rarely drive this thing. This car has 150,000 miles on it, but we bought this in 2010. It is 2024. This car, it gets used on the weekends. It gets used not for pleasure driving, but like to go to the grocery store, for things like that, randomly. Why? Because I have that to drive. My wife has that beautiful Audi to drive. And we also have this. So I split my time amongst all those other vehicles. Most of my time is in that. Because why the hell wouldn't you want to drive something like that? It's absolutely an amazing machine. I love to drive it. That's where I spend my butt in and put the miles on. That has 75,000 miles on it. I've done 40,000 miles on that car in 3 years. I love driving that car. I always drive that car. That's why this doesn't get love. So because of that, what I'm doing now is I'm catching up on maintenance. So when I say things don't happen that often, if I drove it more and I drove it regularly, probably wouldn't need anything. But because we don't drive it that much, that's why it needs all this maintenance. And the reason I'm doing a lot of this maintenance now is to get it caught up because it's been behind. It's been neglected. Full disclosure, I have completely neglected this car. So that's why we're doing maintenance on this now. And that's why we're doing so much, because besides these little stupid things that we're doing and this maintenance issues that we're having, the car has been ultra reliable. I know in my last video I put, I hate Volkswagen. I don't hate it. It is a pain in the ass to work on. It's horrible to work on compared to that. That Porsche is super easy to work on. This is a pain in the ass to work on. Yeah, the Porsche was made by a freaking engineer that knew maintenance. And this is 14 years this car's been here. And it's a good car overall. It's not a piece of crap. It's a decent car. So we want to keep it around as long as possible. So we're going to do these maintenance items that have been neglected. And we're going to keep rolling. What we're doing today, I'm not going to record it, but I'm just going to tell you, is right here. This seal. Here it's nice and clean. But on the back side of it, back here, it does leak and it goes down the block. So we're going to replace that. We already did the water pump, and you can see the valve cover right here. The valve cover has a little bit of a leak. I'm looking at it. I don't know if I'm going to do it. It's not that bad. I'm just going to concentrate on the timing cover for today, because those are known to leak, and keep rolling. But besides that, mechanically, the car is sound. I replaced the one broken CV axle, and you can just get it and drive, and I'm not worried about anything. It's good. So that was what was going on. Now, because it's 4th of July, I completely forgot it was 4th of July. I did not reserve the lift. So if I want to get under the Porsche and change that transmission mount, I'm gonna have to do it on the quick jacks. I prefer to do it on the lift. It's faster, it's easier, it's safer. So I will call tomorrow and see if maybe someone canceled. I don't think it's going to take a long time to change that transmission mount. So if someone canceled tomorrow, we'll do it there. If not, this weekend we will change the transmission out now on the garage, in the floor, using the quick jacks. All right, got the valve cover off. And if you're wondering why I'm not filming it, is because if you go to YouTube, you can find at least half a dozen videos of removing this. I'll show you what was the hardest part. Remember I said earlier that Volkswagen makes this so you take it to them to change it? Yeah. This is, to see this, the thickness of my hand? This is all the space you have to remove that valve cover. There, with the light you can see it. So this is all the space you have. So I replaced this. And one thing a lot of people on YouTube missed. Was this O-ring inside here. If you don't replace this, it's still going to leak. I'll show you on the valve cover where I had a really good leak. But the reason you got to take it back to Volkswagen is you have to take off this motor mount. And it's not this part, it's that part right there. It does not allow you to get that through there. That's all the space you have to get that valve cover off if you don't remove that motor mount. Yeah. Thanks, Volkswagen. Appreciate that. Let me show you on the valve cover. So on the valve cover, new gaskets on here, and then that other one sits inside of here. So this slides over. And I had a nice, right straight down here, I had a nice fat goop dirty oil. Of course, and also the normal places back here. That's because this seal wasn't leaking and the seal I showed you on the engine wasn't leaking. This one is damn near hard plastic. This is the one that was on the inside. That thing is hard. This one's still rubbery, but it's a lot stiffer than the new one. And this one is same with this. These two are still rubbery, but they're very, very, very stiff. They're turning to plastic. This one was just hard. I mean, when I was trying to take it off, it broke like a piece of plastic would. So none of that was sealing anymore. This was probably still doing a decent job. This definitely wasn't doing anything. So now we've got it all off. We've got to get it back on. Oh, and so you see the thickness of this and that little tiny space I got to work with. The other problem is these are captured bolts and they hang up. They get caught on things as you're removing it. So it's going to be a pain. Now you can pop these all the way out, but they also have a little ring in there that help hold this gasket in place. If I can focus. See that little silver ring in there? That holds this gasket in place. So if you pop these off, you take the risk of this gasket not being in the right place when you install it, and then you have a big leak. We don't want to do that. So I fought it off. Now I'm going to fight it back on. And the other thing is with that space down there at the bottom, this tiny, these at the bottom here, you're getting like a quarter turn every time. And because they're so small and they get oily, you can't even turn with your hand. So what I did was I used long needle nose pliers. There's a little tip that I'll help you that I didn't see on a lot of videos. Long angled needle nose pliers, and I was able to grab and turn. I mean, it's a little more than a quarter turn, but it takes forever. It's tedious as hell, but that's the way I was able to do it without removing the motor mount. The right way would be remove the motor mount. Whatever. Back to work. All done. Job complete. For a minute there, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but I was able to do it with some basic hand tools. Let me show you the tools. This is all I used. T30. This was just to get the reservoir out of the way. T30. I use this to break the torque with my adapter. I used that to break torque when that wasn't strong enough, but this is 1/4 inch, T30, a 10 millimeter, and a damn wrench. A longer one of these would be great. Straight needle nose pliers would have been better. And my torque wrench at the end. So, Leo's chilling, he's hot. The only ones you can actually torque, because of, I didn't take out the engine frame, was, let me turn on the light. The only ones you're able to torque are that one, and the one, if you can see it, it's back there under the bundle of wires. Yeah, you can't see it, but it's right under there. Oh, you can only torque those. It's 80 inch-pounds, so it's not a ton. So I torqued those. What I did was, when they got tight, I torqued it and watched how far the bolt turns. In other words, in its revolution. Did it make a full revolution, a quarter, etc.? And then I turned the bottom ones exactly the same. So the torque on the bottom should be exactly the same. Torque these three. So there's new gasket there, new gasket on the outside, new gasket on the inside. And we should have no more leaks. I've already started the car. I've already ran it. I see no oil leaking out of anywhere. It looks good. Little steps, baby steps, forward progress. So done messing with this for today. We'll take it out, take a shower. 4th of July. Let's go drive the Porsche. Go do something. What do you think, Leo? Leo? Forgot to show you guys the most important tool. Magnet. Most important tool. You're going to drop your wrench. You're going to drop a bolt. You're going to drop something. Magnet. That's the most important tool. Always have one. Happy 4th of July. Have fun. Stay safe. Don't burn yourself up with fireworks. Catch you later.